Arjuna wanted to hear more and more all these glories of the absolute Brahman in the manifested form of Lord Krishna. He is not getting satisfied by hearing all these glories. This is the great quality of a devotee. He never gets satisfaction by singing or hearing God's glory. You see, there are always, everywhere there is some but. There is some but everywhere. There is nothing final. This is the relative world. He has, from our code of conduct and in the way of practice spirituality, we always adopt, be satisfied, be satisfied. Have no desires. Let all the desires kept aside. Have contentment. Santo samrita triptanam yat sukham santa chetasam abhito brahma nirvana samam santim samadhigacchati. One who has contentment, who is ever satisfied, he attains the highest peace. But don't be satisfied in spiritual sadhana. You should not be satisfied. Enough I have done. Don't think like that. Don't talk like that. Don't have that feeling. I have done enough. No. Till the end, till you are 100% exhausted and you have nothing to do, when you are simply actionless, till then you have to go on striving hard. Don't have any satisfaction in sadhana, spiritual sadhana. You should not have satisfaction. This is only told for the worldly objects. You should not have dissatisfaction, you should not have hankering, desires for mundane objects, but you should have satisfaction, contentment. That is the highest divine quality. But in spiritual field, spiritual sadhana, one should not be satisfied. You should always think of the world as a dream and don't give importance to all these worldly matters, problems, and all these opinions of others. All these one should not give importance. Take it lightly because it is in a dream. What happens if in dream something wrong goes on? You are aware, you are not to worry about all these. But don't take seriously worldly matters, but you have to take seriously in spiritual matters. Wherever you have a failure, देखो देखो क्या हो रहा है. When there is something wrong, you are failed to do something, don't give it up. Don't be satisfied. Don't take it lightly. Everywhere you have to be serious. Every step is serious matter for you. In this way, whatever rules and regulations, code of conducts are given for the worldly matters, that is just opposite in the spiritual field. That's why it is said, where the worldly people sleep, there the yogi is awake. Where yogi sleeps, that means it is nothing for the yogi. They are the worldly people, they are awake, means they give importance to all these. In this way, everywhere there is a but. So we should have satisfaction everywhere, but in hearing God's glories or chanting His name with love and affection and talking about Him among ourselves, one should not be satisfied. It is the unsatisfaction is a plus mark here. Here you should always be hankering for more and more. Then only your progress will not be hampered. In this way, Arjuna is never satisfied. He is telling, yesterday we saw, Katham vidyamam vasudeva bhaktum arasya sena divyahastam vibhutayah yabhir vibhutibhir lokan imam stam vyapyatistasi. In 16th sloka, Arjuna says, thou should indeed tell without reserve of thy divine glories by which you exist, pervading and all the worlds. None else can do so, because you are telling about yourself. You know better than others. Katham vidyamaham yogim stam sada parichintayan kesu kesu bhavesu chintyosi bhagan maya. How shall I ever meditating know thee, O yogin? O yogin, the Yogeshwar, Krishna is called Yogeshwar, the Lord of all the yogis. Katham vidyam aham yogim tvam sada parichintayan kesu kesu bhavesu. What all aspects of things, O blessed Lord, art thou to be thought of by me? In what way I shall think of you? Please tell me. Couldn't start. What is happening? Network. Anyway, how shall I ever meditating know thee, O yogin? In what aspects of things, O blessed Lord, art thou to be thought of by me? Arjuna says, O Lord, how may I know thee? By constant meditation. In what aspects art thou to be thought of by me? Even when I think of external objects, I can meditate on thee in thy particular manifestations in them. If I have a detailed knowledge of thy glories, therefore deign to tell me without reserve of thy own glories, then only can I behold oneness everywhere? Arjuna mean to say, my Lord, I have to see whatever I have learnt till now. Of course, you are all pervading, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, but yet that is okay. But outward world there are innumerable names and forms. In what way I shall see you in special cases? Say, I cannot, in the initial stage, I cannot meditate on you in every atom of this world. I cannot. But in main objects I can meditate on. So they are your glories also. Some special objects or special names or special forms where I can concentrate my mind as the absolute easily. It is not easy to hold the absolute truth in each and every dust particle. It is not so easy a job for a neophyte. But as a whole we can say it is a dream. But bit by bit, how difficult it is. It is an endless story. Eternal, endless story. So there ought to be some special forms or names or objects or matters where we can put our mind to concentrate. Here the God is specially available. Just as we were discussing yesterday, Narada asked, "O Lord, where do you abide all the time? I can find you there easily. I cannot go on searching for you everywhere." So Lord said, wherever my devotees sing my glories and names, chant my names, I am always present there. And also my abode in the ocean is not really eternal abode. I always live in the tears of my devotees. That is my permanent abode. I cannot give it up. So in this way, some special places where the God is always available. For that reason only, Arjuna also asked in the same way, please tell me your glories where I can fix my mind easily and find you there, and I can continuously think of you. Wherever I go, I should think of you. You see, in our Sanatan Dharma, our Indian religion, we worship everything. We worship the trees, Ashwath, banyan tree, the mango tree, Aula, and Bilwa tree, Tulsi plant. So many plants or trees we worship as God. God is present there. And rivers, the mountains, and of course God is there in the temple, we believe. And all these beliefs are not baseless. There is some scientific reason behind it. Of course, the common people don't know all these, but yet there is some scientific secret why we worship all these. And sometimes some stones, some birds, some animals, we worship the cow, we worship the bull, Nandi, we worship the elephant, horses also. He is incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Hayagriva, Hayagriva. Everywhere we see the presence of God, and we go on worshipping everywhere. Wherever you go, there will be the presence of God. Hari Om. Before starting something, we think of God, and in the end also we think of God. We offer it to God. And our Gajanan Bhagavan, Adi Pujya, Pratham Pujya, first of all you have to think of Lord Ganesh, and then you start the work. We have to remember Saraswati, because she is the goddess of the intellect. So to keep the balanced mind, you have to worship Saraswati, and to have enough money so that you should not be dependent on others. So we have to worship Mahalakshmi. And in this way, so many gods, goddesses, and Guru is Pujya. Guru is everything. Father we should worship. Mother is highest of all. In this way, wherever we see, whatever we see, we worship as finding the presence of God there. In this way, it is there, of course, and yet Arjuna wants to have some special objects or names or forms where he can easily meditate upon. So that is what Arjuna asked. Arjuna says, "O Lord, how may I know thee? By constant meditation. Wherever I go, I should see you, remember you. In what aspects art thou to be thought of by me? Even when I think of external objects, I can meditate on thee in thy particular manifestation in them. If I have a detailed knowledge of thy glories, in this way, Lord Arjuna asks, without reserve you can tell me your glories, then only I will be able to behold thee everywhere in every way. Vistarenattanojogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyah kathaya triptirhi srinutva nasti me mritam. Tell me again in detail, O Krishna, of thy yogic power and glory, for I am not satisfied, I am not satiated with what I have heard of thy life-giving and nectar-like speech. I am drinking the nectar from your mouth. My Lord, please go on explaining. I am enjoying it. In the midst of the battle, you want to hear the glories of Lord. The Lord is called Janardana because all pray to him for worldly success, prosperity, and also salvation. Arjuna also prayed to the Lord to explain his yogic power and glory for his salvation. For his salvation, he will solve all his questions. So go on telling your glories. Arjuna says to Lord Krishna, tell me in detail of thy mysterious power of yoga and sovereignty, Aishwarya, sovereignty, and the various things to be meditated upon. Tell me again, thou you have described earlier in the 7th and in the 9th chapters. Just before, for there is no satiety in hearing thy ambrosial speech or nectar-like conversation. However much of it I hear, I am not satisfied. Surely it is nectar of immortality for me. When I hear from your mouth, it is something unparalleled. So God is now pleased on Arjuna and he says, the Blessed Lord said, Hantate kathaishyami divya hyatma vibhutaya pradhanyatah kurushrestha nastyanta vistarasya me. O Arjuna, very well, now I will declare to thee my divine glories in their prominence only. O Arjuna, there is no end to their detailed descriptions. It is endless because I am endless, eternal. My glories are not with boundaries. Now I will tell you of my most prominent divine glories. I cannot tell you in detail all the glories because it is endless, it is infinite, nobody can do it. So, I shall tell you everything, all the glories, divine glories which are prominent. My glories are illimitable. It is not possible to describe all of them. Nobody can. So I will tell all the important ones. Hantate kathaishyami. I shall tell you. Divya hi atma vibhutaya. My glories which are divine and prominent. Pradhanyata which are prominent. Kurushrestha nastyanta vistarasyame. There is no end of its detailed descriptions. Now Lord says, Aham atma gudakesa sarvabhutasaya sthitah aham adischa madhyamcha bhutanam antayevacha. In short, he starts with, I am this self, O Gudakesh, seated in the hearts of all beings. I am the beginning, the middle, and also the end of all beings. So I cover up everything. In the beginning I am there, in the end I am there, so in the middle also I am only there. Somebody asked Gurudev, Gurudev, in our busy modern life, it is not possible of remembering God all the time. We have no time. We are so busy with worldly affairs. It is not possible. Please tell us some easy way. Easy and quick way. Everybody wants that. So Gurudev said, start the day with God. Live the day with God and end the day with God. That is the way to God. So simple. When you get up from the bed, don't get up all of a sudden. And in the whole day, he had told also some people, go and every hour end, just close your eyes for a few seconds. Nobody can stop you. Even when you are walking, you can stop for 10-20 seconds and close your eyes, because it is now getting 9. So 9 o'clock, close your eyes for a few seconds and remember God. 10, okay, it is time for God. So few seconds that anybody can do, even though you are in the midst of terrific fight, you can close your eyes for few seconds. Remember Him. It is practical. Napoleon used to sleep for 5 minutes in the terrific battlefield. That was his key to success. He was able to withdraw the mind and sleep, snoring for 5 minutes. All of a sudden, when he gets tired, he will sleep for 5 minutes and he will revive with new strength. That was his trick. So why not you? You are busy in your office work. So much file is there. You have to do all the pending files and so much work. But nobody can stop you to close your eyes when you sneeze, or if you have cold and cough, you have to sneeze, you have to cough for a few seconds. Does somebody obstruct you? Nobody can say anything. Just close your eyes every hour end and remember God for a few seconds and then continue your work, whatever you are doing. Is it not possible? If you really want, sincerely want to remember God, this is the way. This is practical. And end the day with God when you go to sleep. who can stop you to think of God. At least for 1 minute, 5 minutes before going to enter into deep sleep. A prayer should be your strength, your routine work just after getting up from the bed and when you go to the bed, before going to bed. And that's how these Brahmins and some Kshatriyas, some Vaishyas who have Janev, the sacred thread, they ought to do 3 times Sandhya Vandan, morning, midday and evening. And some other worshippers of Supreme Power, they also do Sandhya Vandan at midnight. Turiya Sandhya.
That is the Trikal Sandhya.
Eh?
Trikal Sandhya.
Trikal Sandhya in daytime and Turiya Sandhya in midnight. And some Mahatmas, of course, they get up at night and meditate. That is the best time. Daytime you can while away time and just rest. Night it is yours. Nobody is going to disturb you. Last night did you enjoy that moonlight? And what a wonderful sky was it. Now it is Ashwin Mahina, the autumn. Of course, we have little disorder in the climatical conditions, but yet last night it was wonderful, simply wonderful. Morning, of course, little clouds appear. So one should be sincere to remember him, then he can, even in busy life, one can think of God, and that is the way to God. O Gudakesa, I am the soul, Pratyagatma, which exists in the hearts of all beings. And I am also the source or origin, the middle or stay, sthiti, and the end of all created beings. I am the birth, the life and the death of all beings. Meditate on me as the innermost self, which is ever present. Gudakesa means either conqueror of sleep or thick-haired, who has thick hair. He is called Gudakesa, or who has conquered the sleep. Arjuna is conqueror of sleep. That's why he is called Gudakesa. He who is able to meditate on the self with abheda bhavana, attitude of non-duality, is a qualified aspirant, adhikari of the first class. He who is not able to meditate on the self should think of the Lord in those things which are mentioned below. This type of meditation is for the aspirants of middle class. middle class. The first class students he has given in the beginning. He said, Aham atma gudakesa sarvabhuta sthita aham adischa madhyancha bhutanam anta evacha. I am the starting, beginning, and the end, and the middle of all the beings. So you can go on meditating. This is for first class student. And for the second class student, Adityanam aham Vishnu, Jyotisam Raviransuman, Marichir Marutamasmi, Nakshatranam aham Sasi. You can meditate on all these most powerful divine beings. They are very nearer to the Absolute. They are the subordinates of the manifested universal being. So in that way also the second class students can meditate. They have some objects to rely upon, to depend upon. Again, Hari Om. ये क्या हो रहा है भाई? इसमें नहीं है। अच्छा, और कोई नहीं गाड़ी उपाय? फोन रख दो।
नहीं, ये भी फोन में भी वही है जियो।
अच्छा,
मेरा भी वही चलता है।
चलो जो जिसका किस्मत में। आदित्यानाम अहम विष्णु। द्वादश आदित्य हैं, 12 Adityas, and Vishnu is the man, Lord Vishnu. Among the Adityas, I am Vishnu. And Jyotisam Ravihi Ansuman. Jyotisam, among the lights, Ravi, the sun, the radiant sun, Ansuman, radiant. Among the 12 Adityas, I am Vishnu. Among luminaries, the radiant sun I am. And I am Marichi among the 7 or 49 Marutas. Marichi. The wind god is said to be many. They have identities also. It has got some stories, and it has there is some scientific reason behind the stories. Just as we go on discussing the story of Chudala and Sikhidvas, every detail scientifically, logically, analytically, and from every angle we discuss it. Similarly, when you see these Puranic stories from epics, they are not meaningless, they have got meaning. They have got scientific meaning behind it and some philosophical meaning from some other angle of vision, and some ordinary stories, they have got also some meanings. No stories are meaningless. They give us so clear ideas, clarity in understanding. So Marichi Marutam Asmi. Marut means the wind. There is a story when Aditi had to give birth to this wind god. Some inimical relations. There will be envious eyes of near and dear ones. Somebody did something, gave some poison to the Aditi, and the child in the womb, it was scattered out at the time of birth. So it was not one, it was 41, 49. 49. 49 Marutas, and among them Marichi is the head of it, the elderly.
Same as the process of Gandhari, or it is a different that they came out from lump, or 49 differently?
49 differently at the same time.
So not as a lump?
No, no. Of course, some other story goes behind our Sadanan Kartikeya. The semen was fallen down, and that was divided into 6 parts, and those 6 children were manifested. So those some birds, they took care of it. So, so in the end, they were together, just as Dattatreya, 3 made 1. In this way, 6 made 1. In the beginning it was 1, in the end it became 1. In between they were divided into 6 parts. So in this way some stories are there, and there is some esoteric meaning behind it. So in this way he says, I am the Marichi among the Marutas. They are either 7 or 49. From some angle of view, they are called 7 Marutas, and from other angle they were 49s, and Marichi is the head. I am Marichi among the 7 or 49 Marutas. Among stars, the moon am I. Moon is the head of all the stars. Don't go to astrological vision here. Stars are something else, moon is something else. But when we look at the sky, stars are nothing before the moon for us, relatively. From 360-degree angle, relatively. Of the 12 Adityas, I am the Aditya known as Vishnu, Dhata, Mitra, Aryama, Rudra, Varuna, Bhaga, Surya, Vivaswan, Pusan, Sabita, and Twasta and Vishnu are the 12 Adityas. And among them, Vishnu is the main and the head of all these. All these are Adityas. Aditya, they are the son of Aditi. Aditi is wife of Kashyap Rishi, who was the one among the 7 stars, Kashyap. They are the primordial creators.
Punarvasu.
Eh?
Punarvasu.
Punarvasu is a star.
Aditi and Diti are the stars of Punarvasu.
Yes. So, of the 12 Adityas, I am the Aditya known as Vishnu. And 12 are Dhata, Mitra, Aryama, Rudra, Varuna, Bhaga, Surya, Vivaswan, and Pusan, Sabita, Twasta, and Vishnu are the 12 Adityas. The 12 months of the year are the Adityas, 12 months. They are named after these Adityas. So Aditya is one, but in 12 aspect he is taken. The 12 months. The Marutas are the gods controlling the winds. Some hold that there are 7 of them, while others say there are 49. The 12 Adityas, the luminaries like Agni, lightning, etc. The Marutas are the stars, etc. Maruts, the stars, etc. are the Samanya Vibhutis, ordinary manifestations of the Lord. Vishnu, the sun, Marichi, and the moon are his Vishesh Vibhutis, special manifestations, and hence they have greater splendor in them. Wherever we see something, the essence is wherever we hold something special, that is the glory of the Absolute. Sun is special for us, moon is special for us, so stars also, all these are, and wind god also. In this way, these are the main aspects of the Absolute God. The second class students, they can hold the Absolute in these forms and names. You can superimpose the Lord on the sun and the moon and meditate on them as forms of the Lord. You can practice the same kind of meditation on all forms mentioned in the following verse of this chapter. Now we shall go ahead with all these. You know, many yogis, they meditate on sun or moon by Tratak. We had a yogi here in Uttarakashi. He is no more now there. His name was Vishnu Dutt. Vishnu Dutt, his kutia is yet there, just on the front of Ujjaini, other side of Ganga. He used to keep a bowel near Ganga bank and enter to the Ganga early in the morning, before sunrise. And he will stand on neck deep water in Ganga. At that time Ganga was a little slower, one can stand there in neck deep water. So he used to stand there on up to neck deep water and goes on seeing with eyes without blinking. That is called Tratak. Tratak generally is started from one black point or any white point in the black background, something. And when you are success in that for a long time, then you can meditate on, fix your eyes on some lamp light or something. You should have a guide with you, or else you can lose your eyes also. Slowly, gradually, you have to increase the time. And of course, the devotees, they have the fixed gaze on the deity, the picture of the deity. And in that way, one can fix the eyes on the lamp light, candle light, and then when it is done successfully for pretty long time, say 3 hours is the period of success. Asanas also, kumbhak also, in pranayam, for 3 hours. It is the minimum time period. Then you are successful. You have mastered it. It is taken as the mastery over the act, whatever you practice. So in this way, then you have to look upon some stars or moon, and then you can go to sun, slowly, gradually. And our Vishnu Dutt ji, he used to come out of water only at 2 between 2 to 3 p.m. When the sun sets downward, then he comes out. And in the midday he will be always looking up. And your heat is, terrific heat will be generated in the body. And that's how one has to stand in water. And Ganga is cold water. It is something special, special. He was a great, great yogi. And some other yogi I have met, he was a very close friend of Gurudev Swami Shivanji Maharaj, just as Tapovanji, Purushottamji, etc. They used to stay together in Swargashram side at that time when Gurudev was staying there. He was Ranganath, Swami Ranganath. He was also South Indian. He was a great yogi of Tratak. If he looks at you, you are gone. You are gone. So much power in eyesight. When he looks at you, he knows everything in and out about you, and you are motionless. You cannot raise your hand, nothing you can do. Great Siddha Mahatma. He used to live in Nareshwar near Narmada Bank. When I was going in the bank of Narmada, I met him. When I said I am disciple of Swami Shivaji, oh, he is my close friend. He loved me so much. You can stay here. You are my dear child. He embraced me. The name Sivanand, enough. So such is the power of one-pointed gaze. This is how the yogis, they worship the sun god, moon god, luminous objects. And then he comes. Vedanam Samavedosmi. The second class students, they are fond of knowledge also. So Veda is the authority. So for Vedas, Vedanam Samavedosmi. Devanam api asmi vasavaha. So why Samaved is important? Why not Yaju, Rik? Why Sama? Samaved deals with musical section of the life. Life is a music. One who can sing the song of life in rhythm. Music is nothing but rhythm. Rhythm in everything. In breathe, in voice, and in thinking, everywhere. There should be everything rhythmical. So it will go on smoothly in a particular harmonious way. That is called the secret of happy life. So that rhythm is called music. The sound is music. The rhythm in the sound. Sound is nothing but vibration. So sound is the root cause of the whole universe. Creation, Samaveda deals with it. So all the philosophy of life, a successful, prosperous, happy life, contented life, you can have from music, and that is there in the Samaveda. And through music, you can control your mind very easily, very easily. Because sound is everything. Life is nothing but a song. If you can sing it properly, you are happy, you are successful. Vedanam Samavedosmi, Devanam api asmi Vasavaha. Indra, the king. Indriyanam manaschasmi, bhutanam asmi chetana. Among the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. I am Vasava among the gods. Among the senses, I am the mind. Satindriya, 5 senses of knowledge, and mind is the head, the 6th sense. And I am intelligence among living beings. Intelligence, awareness. Chetana, Vasava is Indra, the king of gods. Gods such as Rudras, Adityas, they are gods. They are the divine powers, centrified divine powers manifested having with a name and form, but yet subtler than the mundane beings. They are subtler beings, so they are more powerful. They are, they are responsible for particular aspect of the nature. So they are called gods and they are called devatas, devas. Deva means they are luminous beings. Gods such as Rudras, Adityas, etc. Indriyas, the five jnana indriyas, are organs of knowledge, which is ear, skin, eye, tongue and nose. And the five karma indriyas are organs of action, which is speech, hands, feet, genitals and anus. The mind is regarded as the 11th sense. If you take the five senses of knowledge, then it is the sixth sense. If you take the 10 senses of actions, then it is the 11th sense. As the senses cannot function without the help of the mind is regarded as the chief among the senses. In this way, mind is the important aspect of the senses. Chetana, intelligence, is that state of intellect which is manifest in the aggregate of the body and the senses. Yes, body and the senses together, and intellect, mind of course controls all these, but intellect is superior than the mind, that decides everything. Chetana, that which illumines all from the intellect down to the grossest object, is called Chetana. Illumines all. In other sense also, Chetana, one which prompts everyone, every aspect, every object, every name to activate. That is called also Chetana. चेष्टा प्रदान करता है जो, one who gives a tendency to start, that is also Chetana. Intellect also Chetana. That which illumines all gets little awareness. From the intellect down to the grossest object is called Chetana. And tomorrow we shall see further Rudranam Sankarastasmi. In this way, all these important aspects of the Supreme. Tomorrow we shall see further. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Santi Santi Santi. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. गीता माता की जय।